So once again, life gets in the way of me getting this thing completed because I always seem like I have other things on the go. So the other day I was working the tar out of my old chainsaw here and I got it really hot and I'm pretty sure I cooked that motor. I know my compression gauge is on the fritz, but I'm thinking that compression is pretty low. Oh yeah! I'm gonna go with I definitely overheated and scored the living poop out of that piston. She's finished. So, I get down to my lawnmower chainsaw place and see what I can get from them. How bad does this guy look? He's pretty nasty too. He's not as bad as that piston, but he's pretty nasty. So I'll have to see what they can get for me. So this is like a really old saw. I'm not even sure what's available for this. I gotta get that clip out of that piston there. The nice fried piston. Yeah, and I'm hoping I can get replacement parts for this thing. We'll have to go and see what I can get. I had visions of that clip coming flying out of there and going down on the crank of this thing. So we're just gonna do this to be careful. So there you can see that's a very badly scored piston. That's not good. Anyways, the one good thing about it's a pretty quick and simple rebuild, providing I can get parts for it. That ring's just seized in there solid. Well, I guess that's what happens when you run the poop out of things. It's hard to see on the camera. This isn't as bad. Hold on, where's the light? It's not as bad, but she's pretty scored up in there too. Oh yeah, there's definitely some aluminum in there around that exhaust port, or is that? Yeah, the exhaust port, or she's lots of stuff melted in here. So we'll see if I can get some parts for this and fix her up. So I did go to my local Husqvarna dealer to get parts for this saw, and yes, they can get them for me. However, they're very pricey if you go right through Husqvarna. So the parts guy actually recommended I go to Amazon. So I picked this kit up. It is Chinese, but I picked this kit up off Amazon for, what the heck was it? I think it was like $52 Canadian. So let's see what all it comes with. It comes with a new jug, obviously a new piston. There we go, jug, piston. Wrist pin, ring, spark plug, decompression valve, which it didn't have on there before, so that's kind of an added bonus. And wrist pin bearing, which I see is a little wonky, so hopefully I can fix that guy and it'll work. And gaskets. And some gaskets. So I mean, for 52 bucks, it's Chinese, but whatever. I think he told me that just this alone from Husqvarna was going to be, I think he said around $300 or $400. So it's like, ooh, I'll take my chances with the Chinese stuff and see how it works out. this bugger back together. This bearing was a little foobarred there, and one of the needles was out, and I tried to put it back together. And it wasn't cooperating, so I just ended up the original bearing seemed fine, so I just ended up reusing the original bearing. That, and this is the carb gasket it came with, which I didn't care for. Again, I preferred the original one. It didn't look like it was in bad shape, so I just ended up using the original one. So I'm just gonna work that over a couple times, and let's see if this little bugger will run with these cheap Chinese parts. I guess for the price of the parts, even if it's a fail, it's not a lot of money invested, so. Well, she seems to run. Wants more choke than it normally does, though. Makes me wonder if I got a little schmutz or something in the carburetor. Well, I figured before I go do any adjustments to this carburetor, I'm going to throw this air filter back on, because it might restrict it a little bit. And well, my goodness gracious here. I am not gonna lie, this carburetor took a lot of fooling around with to get it dialed in nice, but I think I finally got her so she's running half decent now. I'm pretty happy with it. Maybe not. Oh, that chain's gonna fly right off there, it's so loose. So I was fighting to get this carburetor adjusted properly on this thing. It just didn't want to idle for nothing, no matter what I did. And it seemed like I kept starving for fuel. So I took the carburetor back off, I took it apart, I was looking to see if the diaphragm was buggered up, because it's got a little pulse pump built into the carburetor. Everything looked like it was fine. And then I thought to myself, there's like a pulse pickup on this jug right here. So I looked on the old one, and sure as heck, there's a little rubber grommet or whatever you want to call it that goes in there to seal that. So then I took this off the saw, and this is the piece that fits down inside there. And if you look right here, it's hard to see, but right down in there, yeah, there's no little rubber grommet in there. So I'm pretty certain that is what's been giving me all my grief. Well, that clearly works a heck of a lot better. Simple little fix that I should have thought of earlier. So there's a very simple and quick saw rebuild. A little bit of frustration and struggle with trying to tune the carburetor. Don't let a little rubber grommet throw you off like it did to me. It was something so simple that I just overlooked. So don't let that happen to you if you're running into the same issues. And thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Give it a like, give it a subscribe. Come on back for more. Take it easy and have a good one.